What really made me want to come back to Loyola was the 4 years that I had. They were phenomenal. I learned a lot, very transformational. And in addition to that, my senior year, my superlative was most likely to come back to Loyola and teach. So I thought this was the best opportunity to do that.
So I'm in the classroom 2 periods a day, and my capacity there is basically to help improve the kids' skills, so writing skills, critical reading, having them be able to find information, extract that information, and relay it back to us in a way where not only they understand what we've taught them, but they're also formulating their own thoughts about content. As far as the department on the whole goes, I have helped in a number of different ways with cross-curricularly with English. So we have the kids really ramping up their abilities and capabilities with MLA format. So hopefully by the time they get to college, they're very comfortable and fluent in the language of citation.
The process for becoming an Alumni Service Corps volunteer this year was certainly not easy for me. There were a lot of applicants, I guess, who were part of the process, and I found out sort of about a year ago, last November. And I was up at school in Philadelphia, so I had to come down a couple of times to do some interviews, and then sit in an interview with principal at the time, Mr. Day, who's now the president, Father Joe, Mr. McCall, and Steve Wright, who's the director of the program. So, that was a little intimidating because these are people who taught me, and people who have coached me, and et cetera. But, once I got into the interview and got into the room and sat down, it really became like old times where it was really more of a conversation. So I was really excited to have that opportunity to even interview.
It was definitely pretty strange for the first month being back here as a mentor rather than a student, having to be addressed as Mr. or Coach, things I am not accustomed to. But it feels great. It's a great time for hopefully me to impart some knowledge that I've learned in college and other experiences with these guys who are going through the same things that I did only 5 or so years ago.
So is it hard to find a balance between being an authority figure versus a friend to the boys via sports or athletics? I would say no, not so far. I've found a role where I'm pretty comfortable with coaching the boys and being in a sort of authority role where I give them instructive criticism, and I get to rough them up a little bit, but I'm also very cognizant of the level they're at. I coached freshman football and I coached middle schoolers, so 7th and 8th graders, and even the difference between those two groups, it takes a bit of a nuance as well. So I'm always cognizant of the level of maturity of the boys and sort of where I can give them the best instruction. But I'm definitely not a pushover. So it's been fun to sort of be stern when I need to, and also be open enough to laugh and joke and make fun of myself as well.
Living situation's good. We have our own apartment up at the Mission Helpers right up the street, so proximity has been great. We each have our own bedrooms, so can't complain about that. We have a nice kitchen, big living area, little patio actually, so we have quite a bit of space. We're able to do a lot of our own cooking. Friends come over all the time actually, because most of our friends still live at home, so it's a half a step up for them to come over and hang out with us at the convent. But yeah, being close to Loyola has been fantastic. We're really able to get back and forth pretty easily, so we spend a lot more time up on campus because of how close we live. Living, with and among the sisters up there has been fine. No real tension thus far, and we look forward to having a good rest of the year up there, and no issues.
When I first learned that I was going to get this position, what I really wanted to do was just be another part of the process of the faculty that contributes to how well we do with our students in terms of respect, communication skills, critical thinking. One thing I didn't know though was I played volleyball in my 4 years here, and they were undefeated for the past 3 seasons. So I felt a strong sense of responsibility with that. And unfortunately, we didn't win it all this year, but it was a great time. The kids were awesome.
What has been my most rewarding experience here so far? I would definitely go with my interaction with the students, particularly with the classes I teach seniors. And I've opened myself to them and availed myself to them in terms of extra time wherever they need me after school or in the writing center. I've had quite a few interactions with them coming in and helping with college essays, things of that nature, and it's been a lot of fun so far. I've gotten to know them more outside of the sort of academic setting in terms of in the classroom where it's a little more structured, and I get to help them and learn about them and their lives. And it's really a lot more personable, I think, an experience than being in a classroom with 18 to 20 boys versus a one-on-one setting or two-on-one where we can just talk about life and they can ask me questions that I feel comfortable answering, and I can sort of challenge them in other ways. So definitely working with the kids outside of the classroom has been a lot of fun.
I think this experience, though, has taught me not only what type of community we have in Baltimore, but what type of community we have at Loyola, and that right there has made me want to stay in the Baltimore region, possibly go to law school or get a business-related job. But teaching's near and dear to my heart. My mom's a teacher. I very much respect the time and the effort that a lot of these teachers give. So I think teaching is also something I would very much consider past year.
This job has really given us the flexibility to make it our own, more so than any other job we've ever had. Off the bat, we've had great dialogue with the administration, with our director, Steve Bright, about the fact that we can really hone in on what it is we think we're good at doing and how we can bring that to the students most effectively. A couple different ways we do that are through working in admissions. I think has been a real highlight for me. Has been able to be a face and a name out front for the school, and be able to just talk about Loyola and share why I love this place with people that are considering sending their sons here.